It's that time of year again. Christmas in the City is the holiday album released by Lea Michele. Okay, where to start? Well, I'm curious what everyone else's relationship is with this performer, because I'm sure many of you are more familiar with her through Glee. Many of you might know her even before that with a lot of her Broadway shows and productions, and maybe some of you have no idea who this is. Well, all the same, I am here to talk to you about this Christmas album and that it's worth it. There's a lot of songs in here where Lea can showcase her type of vocal style. It definitely resides in that Broadway-esque area, but she doesn't limit herself in her range. We just kind of expect a certain style through this album, and for the most part, I think it works in its consistency. And she also brings out tons of surprises with the choruses and backup vocals that accompany most of the songs in here. Now, before I start talking about any of the songs in here, I do want to say I know there's a lot of people who are very nitpicky about when someone in today's modern day releases a Christmas album. I'm sure that many of you, if you give this album a chance, will find many of the songs generic. I don't particularly feel that way, but I can understand if others would. But let me make my case as to why this album is special. I'll give my two highlight songs in here super quick. She gives a pretty good rendition of It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. The choir mixes in really well with this song. This can potentially sound more commercial, but instead of just only thinking that, I think of this as a great rendition for what you would hear in the mall. Just imagine being with your friends or family, just walking by. Maybe you're going to buy something. Maybe you're just going out to eat. Maybe you're out to go get eggnog or gingerbread or something festive for the season. This song should accompany that kind of vibe out and about. And her rendition of it works super well. Then we have her personal song, Christmas in New York. The best way I can describe this song is imagine La La Land, set in Christmas time, and in New York instead of LA. Best way to describe it, seriously. Listen to it, you'll catch on to what I'm describing. As for the rest of the album, there are plenty of things in here. Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree is mostly a traditional version of it, but she has moments where she doesn't follow the note per note rendition of this song, so she does choose very carefully where she's going to mix it up. Her rendition of Silent Night is good. It's not amazing, but it is good. She does know how to make it work for her. Steering kind of around the same type of song, Oh Holy Night around the end, she does a great job with this song, much better than Silent Night. And while listening to it, I was a little scared because I thought that she was going to try to pull something a little bit bigger at the end. I feel like she was maybe going to go for a big bellow Celine Dion version of this song. But thankfully, she doesn't. She does push herself a little bit, but she doesn't go overboard, thankfully. I will say I do love her rendition of Angels We Have Heard on High. However, the biggest problem I have is the ending. I don't know why. It feels like it just kind of cuts off. Now, there are songs where that works really well, but in this song, I don't know. I feel like we could have used more of a fade than a cutoff, my personal opinion. White Christmas has a terrific accordion, if I'm hearing that right. It also has beautiful strings and flutes. Those flutes did a good job. Also, she has a very fun rendition of I'll Be Home for Christmas with Jonathan Groff, who, plays Kristoff in Frozen. And this is kind of got that ukulele Hawaii style. Any of you who are familiar with Hawaiian Christmases it's actually kind of fun to have Christmas around that time, or at least try to celebrate it. I think everyone should try to experience that at least once. I'm not saying that's the rule. I'm saying that's a one-time experience, maybe more than that, but it's definitely got its own vibe. It's enjoyable. Having said that, though, I can't really justify the reason for this type of arrangement for this song. It doesn't sound bad. I just can't understand why we got this particular version. Speaking of Frozen, she chooses to put in her version of Do You Want to Build a Snowman? Now here's the thing. She sings this very beautifully, and it is arranged very well. The thing is, this is the kind of song where it feels a little too note for note. It's not obviously exactly the same as the movie version, but I feel like this is one of those times where she could have taken some more creative liberties, and I mean this more with the lyrics. I feel like she could have put just a tad of a spin on it, and it would have been so much better, or at least so much fresher for this album. The movie version is fine the way it is, and that's a lot for me saying for what Frozen is. Don't love it like some people, but I like it. Okay, yeah, so I feel like I've kind of talked quite a bit about almost the entire album, actually. There are a few things that I don't think make the album perfect, because I don't think it is. But again, for all the people who I think could potentially make this album look like it's a generic version of Christmas music, I will challenge that. I think this is a very fun album, especially for modern day. And if you are looking for something where you are kind of bordering on that commercial marketability kind of album, this one actually works really well, I think. It's not going to overburden you with the idea that it's so mainstream, but it is going to kind of walk that line where it feels like most people would probably get the gist that this is meant to be for most people, at least around here. So after having listened and reviewed this album with production of 98%, creativity 93%, expression and lyrics 89%, I'm going to give this album a yeah. This is one I think many people can enjoy. So if you're looking for something new and fresh, yeah, this is one that's recommendable. I will find out more Christmas albums from this year that are released. I will find out which ones are also worth checking out. And also finishing out the year, I do have some albums I'm catching up on, so be on the lookout for those. Can't believe it's the end of the year. Man, where did time go? But it's time to enjoy Christmas. Party! As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And remember, if you want to discover, promote, and review the best in entertainment, remember to subscribe and follow all the social media for this channel so you can get that yes in your life. See you next time.